Again, see, and this is where, I mean, a few months ago, Democratic leader Jeffries and some other Democrats were in New Orleans for an event and news conference. And I said, man, listen, y'all were already in Louisiana. He should have had, I said, you should have had members at every single district office of Mike Johnson, Shreveport, and all those other different places, and showing this is how many people in this district are not going to have health care. And I'm telling you, we see it right now. Now you got these farmers who are crying because of Trump's tariffs, how they're getting screwed as well. All of these people who voted for him and voted for Republicans are now realizing, oh my goodness, we're getting screwed. And this is where Democrats should be saying, hashtag, we tried to tell you. We tried to tell you.
And it is an I told you so moment.
And sometimes you got to say, I told you so.
Yes. And it's not just an I told you so for a little bit. In a good many of these states, you're going to pay twice as much for your health care. And in some others, you will approach thrice as much. So the amount that you will pay is going to vary, but it won't be by a small amount. People are going to pay a large amount of money, additional money for health care, because the Obamacare subsidies were there to help people with their health care costs. And I stand by these subsidies. I'm a guy who believes that in the richest country in the world, you ought to have health care simply because you're sick. I'm not a guy who believes that for some reason you've got to sign up 3 times a year or 2 times a year and prove that you are able to work someplace, volunteer to work. They can criticize me for that if they'd like, but I think sick people need health care. And we ought to give it to them because many of these people can be contagious and they'll cause this sickness to be spread throughout society. So let's just start with the notion that we ought to have health care for people who are sick, whoever they happen to be. If they're sick, they need health care.